everyone. This is Bhavani, Product Manager of QA Touch. I am glad to welcome you all to our 13th QA Masterclass. And our guest is today Pedro. And DCCAP is our parent company of QA Touch. And apart from QA Touch, we have other three products, DCCAP Chloros and FlexiPin and Visby. Okay. And then uh, Pedro is working in Cyprus for the last couple of years, and he not only working in or automating with the Cyprus, he also contributed back to the Cyprus community, and he has translated the documentation in Brazilian language. And without wasting time, I am going to welcome him to give the session getting started with Cypress. Welcome, Pedro. The stage is all yours.
So, hi everyone. Thank you so much, Bhavani. It's a pleasure to be here. And also, good morning, folks. Thank you for everyone who take their time to join us today. And I will present getting started with Cypress. So this is just a little bit about myself. I'm principal QA engineer with over the 6 years of experience in QA. I'm also a QA community of experts lead at Modus Create. And regarding myself personally, I love travel, running, go to the beach, and hang out with my family and my friends. So here's the agenda of today's meeting. We'll talk about what is Cypress, its definition, a code example, and about the test runner. Why Cypress, about the Cypress dashboard, its features, the hands-on part. For this talk, I will show you guys during the hands-on how Cypress works with a real application, and we can create another test together as well. I will talk a little bit about the roadmap of Cypress, and at the end of the presentation, we can open for questions. So what is Cypress? This is something that I brought directly from official Cypress documentation, which says fast, easy, and readable testing for anything that runs in browser. So basically, Cypress is very easy to with a small learning curve, and it controls everything that is in browser with every modern application that we build using Angular, React, Vue.js, any frameworks, we can also use Cypress. So here is a Cypress code example. As you guys don't know, Cypress is built on top of Mocha, and we can also change a few comments there. So for this first test, we can, for every Cypress spec file, we have a describe, and which contains a lot of IT block that whatever that you want. So for this example here, we are using CUI visit to visit the Cypress example. And after that, we check if it contains the text type. After verifying that, we click on that text, and we should be redirected to the command action. And we are checking on the third line, we are checking the URL if it contains /commands/actions. Then we'll using ci.get to get the element via CSS selector or XPath or ID, wherever you can grab that element, and change the command type, which is simulating the user typing any value that you want. And after that, we were making the assertion if this element contains that value that we typed. And here just a quick video about the Cypress Test Runner, that you're able to run your test with in two different modes: the interactive mode, as you guys can see, and the other one in headless. For instance, that you can integrate with your CUI tool. The time travel feature that I will discuss further is, and also see there during the hands-on part as well. So why Cypress? Here's a list of few companies that trust and are already using Cypress on their projects, like Walt Disney Studios, Tulio, Pandora, Pendo, Outdesk, Instacart. So here are a few companies that already use Cypress. So it offers a very good documentation, and they're always working to improving it. And for each Cypress section, as you guys can see, core concepts, dashboard, they also share a code example that you can try on your local machine and see how the things works. Cypress also is very easy to set up and debug tests very easily. So it's very simple, and you can also install it using a simple npm package command like npm install Cypress, and that's it. It will automatically build everything to be ready to start writing your tests. Here's a video showing how the Cypress installation works. So it's downloading the Cypress, and after that it should be ready to start it. Yeah, it loaded up a pre-test that we have. Once you install Cypress, it contains a lot of examples that you can easily try then on your local machine and see how the things works, following best practice. Moving to the next slide. And about this other feature, time travel. This is the most important feature in my opinion, because it offers you to scrubbing over the commands log on the left side and see what happened on each action. And we can also check before and after that action. And it's very easy to debug using this feature on Cypress while are you writing your tests. So it is checking every action, and it also store the current state of each command as you want on your test. So also Cypress is a complete end-to-end text experience. So before Cypress, on the left side of the image, this architecture was used a few years ago, in case that you are using Selenium or any other framework, because you need to set up all other frameworks and additional libraries for to start writing your automation tests. And with Cypress, it's a very different architecture, because it's non-Selenium based. It focuses on end-to-end tests, and the tests are written using JavaScript as well. And the most testing tools operate by running outside of the browser and executing remote commands across the network. Cypress is the opposite. So Cypress is executed in the same run loop as your application. And behind Cypress is a Node.js, is executed in the same run as your application. And Cypress and Node.js makes the communication between them and synchronize and perform tasks on behalf each other, and also provides you to have access to the front end and the back end of your application to respond it on the real time. And yeah, moving over to, and also provides, I just take a screenshot from the Cypress testimonials page that has a few developers testimonials about their Cypress use that you guys can check it later. It is open source and free to use because it also have a very large community around the world. And it's very good because every time they're trying to improve and add new things and always open to new suggestions as well. And now a little bit about the Cypress dashboard. So the Cypress dashboard is a service that gives you access to recorded test results. So basically, this is a paid tool that Cypress provides to everyone. Of course, they also offers a free plan, but it's limited. But it has a features that you guys can check here. It can be easily integrated with your project to organize all the Cypress project that you have, see all the test runners. You don't need to worry about to store the results or taking a screenshot or a video. It do it for you. You even can manage all the runs, the organizations, and the users as well. And for a paid plan, it also provides to the users the GitHub, GitLab, Jira, and Slack integrations, as you can see on the right side. So here is another good feature that Cypress dashboard provides to us. The parallelization. It reduces the test duration by running multiple test spec files simultaneously available to across available CUI machines. So on the left side of the image, you guys can see that the CUI machine is running all tests in the sequential mode. And on the right side with Cypress dashboard, it enables the parallelization and you can run your tests faster. So this is a real example between two builds. The first one is not using the parallelization, and the second one is using the parallelization. The same amount of the test specs, and you guys can see on the second build, it took less than 1 minute. And in comparison to the first one, it took around 2 minutes to run all the tests. So it saves our time. It also provides a very interesting feature called Flaky test management. So what is a flaky test? Flake test is considered flaky when it can pass and fail across multiple retries, attempts, and without any code change. So it is flake free because it offers to you to enable the test retries via the Cypress dashboard, and it can also detect and flag the tests to you from the recorded Cypress test runs. in your CI pipeline. The Cypress dashboard provides analytics to offer insights into metrics like runs, over time, duration of each run, the test suite over time. There's a lot of interesting analytics that also Cypress dashboard offers to you, that you can check what are the severity, if for each test case, the top failures, for the run status of the build that you want to see. And yeah, that's all that I want to present for you guys. Let's moving over to the hands-on part, which is the most important one for you. Let me pick the Visual Studio here. Okay, so for instance, if you are starting your project from scratch for the first time, I won't run this command because it is already set it up on my local machine, but you just need to create a new folder, like whatever the name you want here, Cypress project name. You create a folder directory on your machine. And after that, you need to also run npm init that will start and it will generate a package JSON file that you also enables you to start after that. After this command, you can install Cypress using this command here. Save -dev. So it's pretty straightforward to install Cypress. You just need to run this command. And after running this command, after the execution is done, you just need to run npx Cypress open to open the Cypress test runner. For the first time that you open the Cypress Test Ui for you, it will also generate all the folders, all the folder structure that I can show for you guys first. So for the fixture folders, it contains all the files that you can be used in your project, like JSON, wherever that you can be used on your tasks. The integration folder, which contains all the spec files. Here's the place that you will write all the end-to-end tests here. The plugins, which contains all the plugins configurations that you can install and add in your project. And the support folder contains all the custom commands that we want to reuse in our project. And yeah, let me open here the Cypress Test Ui. Okay, so I've already done here a login spec file and just a small test. Let me first show the code for you guys. Yeah, so here is a real application called sauce.demo.con. So for this first line here, we are visiting that page. And after that, we are looking for the username field and type this value here. and also looking for the password input field, and also type this value here and hit the log button. After that, we are making the assertion here. So after the user logs in, we are checking if the title contains product and also be visible on the UI. So let me run it to you guys, checking everything here. So for the first time, it took more seconds, but at the others, it will runs very fast, less than a second. So on the left side, the command log, the command logs, you can scramble all the commands and check the status before and after. So let's see, in that case, we can check before there is not any value on the input field, and after this action here, we can see the value in the input field. So it's very easy to debug and see how the things works on the application while are you running your tests. You can check after here as well. It typed a password and clicking on the login button. After that, it redirects you to the products page. And also it can make the assertion for the title that we are seeing on the top of the page. So now let's create a new test here. Let me create a IT block. Logs in with invalid password. Let's see if the application is showing the error message if we try to log in with invalid password. So as you guys can see, the first step of each test, we will visit this source demo URL. So we can create a before each block here, and we can use this command here. So reduce the number of lines of each IT block as well. And let's say we'll also, let me enable the test UI runner, and you can see in the real time, because when you save it's another good thing on Cypress. When you save the spec file that you're writing your tests, it automatically refresh the execution, the execution here on the test runner. So let me create a here and I'll show for you guys. So for the Cypress tests, we can use this same command here for typing the username, and the second one will type invalid password. So let's see. Invalid pass. After that, click on login button. So if I save here, it will automatically execute the. So as you guys can see, my test is passing because I'm not making the assertion, but I want to check if it's showing this error message. So I need to inspect this element to check the CSS selector. And let me zoom here. And so let's see. So it's a div tag and using this class. Let me copy here. There is another interesting command that we can use for on Cypress. We can use pause. Let me create this assertion here. So I get class that contains this error message container. So we can also chain the should command to verify if it is visible on the page. So this command here means that it will pause on this after hitting on the login button, and we will check, or we can also inspect that element to see their selector here. So as you guys can see, it will just move to the next command only when I hit the resume button over here. So it already clicks here and it enables us to check what is the current state of our application. So let me remove this one and see if it goes well. So as you guys can see, our tests are passing. We are checking if the error message was displayed on the page. So let's create another test for adding a product in our cart. Let me show for you guys manually first. So let's check if the user was logged in and pick the first product displayed on the products page, add it to the cart, check if it was already added into the cart. Moving over to add the information here. To move forward the checkout process, check if it goes to this checkout page as well, and hit the finish button and see if we see this other message as well, if we complete all the checkout. So let me stop here and let me create a new folder, shopping cart. And let's create a new spec file, shopping cart. Let's create a describe shopping cart and should complete checkout process. So first of all, I will so for this login, I won't need to reuse these commands, but I will create a custom command that should be reused for all the specs that we will use further after we have all the login tests that we want here. So for every other page, we need to be logged on this application. So I will create a login, a custom command here that can be used for every spec file. So let me create here. We just need to copy this command. Also press this and this to be more customized. So here is an example of a custom command for login. All the commands that we add into this file, we can call using CUI dot and the name of the custom command that we created here. So in this case, let's use this CUI dot login using the standard user and the valid credentials to be logged here. So let me save here and check on the test runner. As you guys can see, it is passing. We just split all the actions that we already have to log in to this application in one command for better maintenance in future by the QA team. So after logging to the page, we can check if we were redirected to the properly page. Let's see. Let's check this span tag with this class. So let's say span class title contains this text products. So let's save here. Yeah, it is passing. So let's also inspect the first product here, see its selector as well, and try to check if it's the first product is Sauce Labs backpack. So let me create here. So I get div consider that we'll have a lot of elements using the same class. We'll ensure that we are picking the first one. So that's why I'm using this CUI dot equal. It will get a done element at a specific index in an array of elements. So let's pick the first one and check if it contains the Sauce Labs backpack. Let's save and check. So it is passing as well. And let me add this first item using the ID here. So I get, for all elements which has ID, we need to add this underscore to Cypress identified it as a unique ID, and click on it. Let's pick also the first one. Let's see. It's clicked. As you guys can see here, it is already added in our cart. Let me inspect this CSS selector. Using the ID here. Okay, great. Let's moving over to the checkout steps. So I get checkout, click on that page. Let me fill up these informations to proceed. ID, first name, type. I'll type my name here. So I get the second one should be last name. We'll try my last name as well. So I get, let's see, postal code. Click on continue button. Let's see if it's going okay. Great. It goes to the expected page. So let's check. Let's click on the finish button and see if we are moving to the expected page. Yeah, here we go. Let me verify if this element contains this text. So let's use this tag. Consider that we are making the assertion. We need to use should contain this text, and we'll also make sure that this image, the Pony Express, was displayed. So consider this image which has this class Pony Express, and we also make the assertion here. We're checking if it is visible. So let's see all these steps here. So as you guys can see, our test is passing. It took around 3 seconds. Let me run again. So let me moving over to, here's what I planned to present on the hands-on part. Let me move back to the presentation to continue to present all this stuff related to the roadmap. Okay, regarding to the Cypress roadmap, the first item related to the component test, it's already launched. You guys can use it. It is on alpha version. As you can see, Cypress is an open source repository, an open source project. It launched features which aren't ready to collect feedback by their users, which is very good to improve their features. So the component testing is a pretty new, very interesting feature that they launched that you can make the component test very easily, and it also provides component test runner, and you can make the live preview um, for your component to make sure that once the page is built and you need to integrate all the components there, all the components were tested by unit tests. So it's pretty good to add good coverage on your project. The second one is the Cypress Studio, which is an experimental version to record and play your test very easily from the UI. So you just need to enable a configuration to the Cypress JSON file to enable the Cypress Studio, and you can record, and it enables the user to record all the actions on the UI, and it also generates the Cypress code for you. It's very good. The next three topics are in progress, as you can see. The session API, it offers you to use multiple domains. If you, let's say, an example, if you need to log in an application and going through a third-party app, we will support this, because at the moment we only logs on a single domains. The iframe support, which is in progress as well, because now we have a workaround that we add a plugin to test any iframe. And the last one should be to add a Safari browser support. You guys can check out there on this Cypress roadmap page. And this is also I brought from the Cypress website, which says the web has evolved and finally had testing has to. Here are a few references for you guys. Check out the GitHub repository of Cypress, which contains a lot of examples and recipes that you guys can easily find. Then the documentation, their official website URL. And if you guys want to stay in touch with me, you can easily find me by my name, Pedro Hyvo, or scan this QR code and it opens directly my LinkedIn profile page. And now we are open for questions.
Thank you, Pedro, for the great session. It was very informative, and actually we enjoyed a lot. And we have got two questions recently, like in now. And one of the question is how the performance will affect since we are not using Selenium directly.
Okay, can you repeat the question, please?
Actually, we are not using Selenium, right? In this question is raised by Aryan. How the performance will impact It means like since we are not using Selenium, instead of Selenium, why are we selecting Cypress? That's what the question is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As I mentioned,
Yeah.
Cypress would be pretty faster than frameworks that are using Selenium, because the architecture is a little bit different. Because the other frameworks are running outside the browser, and Cypress we are running in the browser. So everything that runs into the browser, it should be very faster to test it using Cypress IO.
Okay. The next question is from Bryce.
Mhm.
Does Cypress work for mobile automation?
Okay, Cypress does work for mobile. Not yet. We can make a workaround to use a viewport to test the screen resolution for a specific mobile that you want. But Cypress is a web-based, it's more for web-based applications.
Okay. And mostly it is for web automation. Am I right, Pedro? Uh,
Sorry, Lavani?
Cypress is for mostly for web automation, web application automation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly for web
Yeah.
automation. Yeah, correct. For mobile, we have a lot of frameworks like Appium, like other frameworks that are most matched for mobile testing.
Yeah. Okay. And one more question is from Natavut Srili. Uh, is it still important to have a dedicated QA in the team versus having developers to test and automate the test scripts instead? Yeah, yeah, this is a good question. Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah, yeah, Cypress is very good because it's a developer friendly and it provides a very interesting way to also QA and developers write their tests to make sure that we have a good coverage and the quality overall for that.
okay. And um, one question, other question from Noel. He is asking about how to integrate Cypress inside my CA project. Actually, what is the same question has raised by Aryan2 from here. Actually,
Mhm.
what integration tools can be used, such as CI or CD?
Yeah, for sure. Cypress has, as I mentioned, it also offers the headless mode to run your test. You just need to run npm Cypress run, and it will run on the headless mode. So it's very easily to integrate for whatever CUI tool that you can choose. You
Okay.
can just find a configuration that should be pretty straightforward, or you can also check on their Cypress CUI or GitLab CI, whatever to GitHub Actions. Well, you should be free to choose the best CI to integrate with Cypress, and you can check out the documentation and check what needs to add in the config file to make this configuration.
Okay. Thank you, Pedro. And Zohair has asked about using BDD test cases with Cypress. Actually, I wanted to answer this. We will probably have a separate session for separate masterclass for that. Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. We will we will have a lot of things. But
Yeah.
answering that question, yes, it is possible to integrate
Yeah.
Cypress with B3, and yeah.
Yeah. Also, we are having in QA Touch, we have Cypress BDD reporter also. We have, it was contributed by a community person. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very great.
Yeah. That's all. We have pretty much covered almost all the questions. Yeah. And Aryan has asked one more question like, can this be used for security testing and unit testing?
Okay, Aryan. For security testing, no, I've never used Cypress for that. But for unit tests, you can use it. Um, yeah, I can't explain you how to use it now, but it should be very easy to use. You just need to install Cypress in the same repository as your code, and you can make a few unit tests with it. And also you can make the unit integration and end-to-end tests with Cypress. So all different levels of testing can be used with this framework.
Yeah, audience, if we have any other questions, feel free to type here, or we can close it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pedro, for the great session. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Yeah, feel free to reach out us at info@ktouch.com if you have any other specific questions. Thank you so much, yeah, Pedro, for the wonderful session. And thank you so much, audience. And we will meet you in the next session.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. And
Yeah.
bye.